My name is... What? My name is... Huh? My name is... Freaky Vicky. Hey, what did you just bust? What are you busting? We do have a visitor in the room at the moment, and her name is Slimmernim. Freaky Wiki. Slim Shady. She's a little cat. And her name is... She's under my desk and she's doing shit. Fucking with stuff and eating wires. Of her antics I will never tire, 'cause she's Slim Shady. Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am back. And I have a visitor. There she is. She's being a cat and wandering around. Her name is Slim Shady. Guess who's back? Back again. Slim. She's not on frame. God damn it. Yeah. Dang it, cat. Dang it, cat, stay in frame. What are you gonna do? It's a cat. Oh, now I'm gonna mess with my whole camera setup. Alright, here we go. Hoda. It's a cat. She's Jay chillin', sitting on a shirt and a blanket. Good. Hi. Hi, Slim. Ricky.
Slim Shady.
She will be joining us for as long as she'd like to over the course of today's video. Let me rearrange this so that it fits and works properly. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. Mostly I just want myself in the one side over here somewhere so that I can put the video up over here and we'll be good to go. Welcome everyone. It's been a little bit more than a little while. Last thing that I posted on the channel was the sorry video and the couple of videos that I had recorded over the past couple of weeks. Oh shit, I don't even have time to do this, do I? Yeah, I'm about to get a call from my doctor regarding my my second set of biopsies to determine whether I have the cancer. Great. I'll leave the camera running for that. I might as well. My plan for today has been pushed back further into the day as we've gone along, but the plan for the day has been to watch some JoJo's. I woke up craving JoJo's. I don't know why. Maybe it was... I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure why. But that is what I want to do, is to watch at least one episode of the Stone Ocean. You know, we left Jolene in the middle of a giant battle royale between a whole bunch of folks, and feels like she's been sort of in freeze frame, in pause in that scene for a little while, in the midst of having just punched a dude through the face with his own boot via his own weird meteor stand that attracts meteors to him that then burn up before they can hit him. Just so many layers of ridiculous that I can't even, and I can't odd either, and we're dealing with a very weak stand with a very potent effect because it affects other stand users and other people and causes them to fight each other. And golly goodness gracious, I had the funniest thought this morning, and the thought that I had was, Jolene's in the middle of her own G20 summit. I keep getting news headlines pop up on my phone from the G20 summit, and it seems like an insane battle royale of craziness and a bunch of different crazy characters all fighting it out over some crazy ideas about the way that things should be and things that just don't really seem to make much sense to me. And it seems like Jolene is in the middle of her own version of that kind of a big battle between many different types of people. FF and not Diavolo, Narciso are on the way, and I think that they'll probably arrive this episode because I think Jolene can't fight anymore. I think she's pretty fucked up. She may have won the fight nominally with Mr. Meteor Guy, but let's be honest, there was no winner in the end of that battle. I guess winning just means surviving. there are a bunch more people tearing each other apart, and out of each of those little individual conflicts will brew the next winner of each of them, who will then go on to fight all the rest of them. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I don't know what to think about, what to predict about what's going to happen next, because it's Araki that we're talking about, and Araki does whatever Araki wants, and that's totally fine. I also don't know how I'm going to format this, or what I'm going to do with it, or if I'm going to read the manga with it or not, or what. I just wanted to turn on the camera and start recording, and maybe I won't even get to JoJo's today. You know, I'm waiting for a phone call from my doctor. Um, just supposed to. Oh, it's at 1:30. All right, cool. I'm glad that they sent me a Ugh, ugh. Glad that they sent me a voice message reminder. My appointment isn't until 1:30. I've got 25 minutes, which is exactly enough time to watch an episode of JoJo's. So that's what we're gonna do. I mean, I've got a time limit, and I'm about to find out whether I have cancer, and I can't think of anything better to do with my time than to watch one episode of Jolene punch stuff, or more accurately, kick stuff. She seems to kick stuff more frequently with the big "Wacha" sort of thing that she does and all that jazz. Um, rad, rad. I'm super down. Where's the cat? There's the cat. Hi, cat. And Slimbernim is down too. Orange you, Sim? Slim? Yes? Say hello to the camera. Hello, camera. Okay. Down you go. You can stay in here. I don't mind. The other one hasn't popped in yet. Hey, Athena. Athena. Oh, she's sleeping. Okay. Cool. Well then, we got a time limit. Let's freaking do it. 24 minutes and 37 seconds is almost exactly the amount of time that I have to until I get the call. So I'm going to put the phone right in front of me so that if they interrupt me, they'll interrupt me, and because that's a little bit more important, I think, and I can edit stuff later anyway. Let's watch episode 17 of JoJo's, part 6, Stone Ocean. I've got it up and ready to go. 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, beep beep timer to count you down. You probably know how this works. If you don't, figure it out. And you can support me on Patreon. I've rearranged the tiers a little bit. Everything is on the $1 tier. If you want a shout-out at the end of the video, you'll see a credits roll at the end of this video. For the first time, I'm going to be doing those for all $5 patrons. And if you want the custom shout-out at the beginning of the video, those are a special thing for the super above and beyond patrons if you want to do that as well. Thank you so much. It really means a lot. Love y'all. Let's watch some JoJo's. Beep timer. My desk is drifting. It's weird. Okay. A Netflix anime series. Cat, get off that box. Oh, I love Dio's bone. Mm. So dope. Sweat drops. Oh god, I haven't heard this OP in like a month. Come on. Little guy with the bone. And some not quite Nazi imagery. That small man. Hey, you mean that short king over there? Ah, biggest boyus. Ah, what the fuck? Okay. But that's one particular stand user. Yeah. That's one stand. Yeah. Ugh. Goblin? Legionnaire. Well, he's like Legionnaire, but the spiked helmet is Germanic or Austrian. But why aren't they fighting each other? Yeah, we still don't know who the main one is. Oh, that's a weird wibble. And the ribs are weird, too. Oh! Dude, I think you've got some hypermobility. You gotta be really careful with that. True. Also, this voice actor, I know him. But he lied. Because there are more, right? Oh my god. I'll bet that these are all just like flash frames in the thing where and they had to figure out how he goes between the states. Hi, Kenzo. You are very limber. Honestly. Honestly? Oh, he drinks urine? No. Actually, some people swear by it. Actually, yes. I have heard of it. Haven't done it, though. So I guess I can't speak to it. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Fucking amazing. Okay, I want to see that panel, and I want to see all the Kenzo panels, because that's awesome. Bleh. Bleh. That's great. Actually, that would be a great Jolene poster. It's just her doing all of the fuck yous. All right, all right. Fly stone free. Got to be tough. God, I miss this. I'm gonna fucking cry. I'm gonna fucking cry. It has, oh, I miss this so much. All right. Get it together, T. Come on. Oh! Thus the bloating. Enter the Dragon's Dream, that's right! Some weird title. And Mr. Spikehead just stood to the side, just doesn't care. Hwah. Eveth! Water. Water everywhere. Duh. Pretty rad idea, though. If done. Gosh, who is that voice actor? He's played so many, like, creepy old people. That would be great. But for now. Narciso? Hi! Honestly. So that's gonna be weird, because his transference of... Yeah, just forgot. Oh, wow, I like that! The cross pattern? That's novel. Right. Compass? Okay, it's a dragon, compass, CG. And it has something to do with the Dragon's Dream. And it's something to do with predictions, because he said something about knowing the conclusion before. Yeah, I don't know if FF can drown. Okay, maybe FF can drown. Empty him out. But he's under the impression that FF is human. Pressure points, flexibility, kidney fuckery. Jeez. Awesome anatomy work, too. Really cool. Does FF breathe? You're still a goop, though. Okay, I guess the body that they're inhabiting can't handle it. Oh no, the bloating! No, my beautiful FF! So what was the compass thing? And what is Narciso doing right now? Ha! Yeah. Nani? Oh, Flexi versus Flexi. Freeze! Wait, what? Huh? Okay. Yes. Yeah, because it's really not clear. But the predictions. The predictions. Yeah, and the knowing the conclusion before it starts. No, it got me. He wants to marry you. That's his line, isn't it? Yep. Come on, man. Huh? What? Wow, we usually don't get that sort of joke snap. That's great. I mean, if it works. If it's stupid, but it works. Did he say that he knew him? Yeah. Life and more. Hmm. 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 As they do. As they do. And drowned them all? Burned them all. So then why drowning? Jesus. It's a great classic cult story. Luck or prediction? Huh. Maybe he can't. Alright, man. Wow. Really just nails it immediately. What is up with the dragon's dream? I don't know. I don't know. Araki's got me. I'm fascinated. Yeah, I don't think so. Ha. 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 That's mid-roll, right? Okay, thank goodness. I was like, no, not another one, not another one. Oh, wow. Wow, what a weird graph. Did you see that? It was just one line. Okay, so it's super weak in every way except one. I don't pick sides, so it's uncaring. God, my brain. What? Full block. Bruce Lee style? Alright, this is the coolest. I've given up. I'm just gonna enjoy. There's no way to predict. Narciso, you really are fabulous, my guy. That's way too simple. Okay. Including Gigi. Yeah, taking sides a little bit. What's with the blood? Oh. So somehow the rats will reveal to us what's going on? Oh! Oh! The prediction from way before? Oh, because he's going for drowning again. Okay. No, dude. There are no coincidences. Not in Iraqi land. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm not? Narciso, explain your shit. The direction of each people. Oh. Fusui. I've never heard it pronounced like that, but that's cool. Directionality, flow, and the arrangement of things. It's actually part of why I've rearranged my room. Hmm. Mm-hmm. 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 Hmm. Oh. I've never thought of that. That's cool. Oh, hello, cat. Hmm. All right. I'm into it. Click. But it's... no desk cat. But it's neutral. That's why the energy itself doesn't, like, have a side. He's just reading the truth in the truth in the pudding. That's fucking crazy. So you attack him from the wrong direction. So all you have to do is figure out which direction his dragon is pointing. He lines it up. Then he attacks. Hey, you gotta stop that. Ah. No. Fusui. It's open to anyone. It's neutral. He spent the most time reading it, right? Oh. A little bit of help. Can you read the dragon's dream, cat? Ah! Ah, the flexibility. And the dances and stuff. Ah, nice bite! Hell yeah, FF. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, but is that... I don't know, man. What if she can do what you did? No. Oh. We're learning. Oh, I love that background. That's crazy trippy. I love that we've got this, like, interaction with the stand that's separate from the interaction with the user. Yeah. The hole in the ceiling. Are we headed toward an end? Come on, we're gonna cliffhang here? Hello, Burb. Ooh. Oh, blood, blood, blood. A chain of events that attacks from the direction that the dragon orients itself. Whoa. You gotta watch out, man! There's crazy shit going. Oh, God, it's like Final Destination. You can't stop the fate. Right where you wanted it. Fucking hell. Kenzo, you fucker. You piece of shit. You piece of shit. You cut my waifu's head off. Fuck. I have to watch another one. All right, 2 minutes until I should be getting a call. Rad. Insane. Absolutely a roller coaster of insanity. The Tai Chi thing is, or I'm sorry, the Fusui, the Feng Shui. I don't actually know how that's supposed to be pronounced in the Chinese part. Somebody can let me know. Is freaking awesome. It's a cool idea. And the idea of a stand that's separate from the will of its user, truly, it's happened before, though I can't evoke a memory of it immediately. I know that it's happened before, where the stand is truly, like, kind of separate. But it's like, it's actively trying to help FF throughout the thing in order to produce balance. It's crazy. All the Okay. Hey, cool episode. Glad to have FF in the fight. Cool enemy stand user. Definitely threw me for a loop a couple of times. At a certain point, as I said, I just sort of gave up. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to figure it out on my own. I'll just wait for Araki to unfold his own mystery for me. And that's one of the fun things about JoJo's is it's like, the hell is Araki going to do here? And how is he going to portray it? And how's it going to get explained to us? And it ends up being awesome. Some other things that I really liked about this episode, the moment where Narciso tells Jolene that he loves her, and she just full flash like pink background with the dots and with like screen tones on it. We don't get that in JoJo's very often, where the style of the show fully jumps out of itself to do a character moment. That's something that I associate with goofy shows or cute girl shows or like Lucky Star style shows. You'll have a character say another thing to another character and you get a duh sort of moment with a background swap. We usually get palette swaps that remain in frame, right? The colors of everything change, but the character isn't sucked out of environment into somewhere else to put us into a different mindset. It's just a color swap, right? And I think that I think that worked really well in the moment to be a little bit surprising, a little bit shocking. There were also a couple of those palette swappy moments in this episode that were cool and different. The one where there's a cross of lightness over swirling multicolors, centered on Jolene. It might have been FF's eye, but on one of the characters' eyes stood out to me as being really cool. And the moment where he's like holding a stance, Kenzo is holding a stance, and we get these patterned black and white almost visual illusion sort of background style to the thing. That felt really cool to me too. All over, this was a fun episode full of what the fuck sort of moments. And I enjoyed the heck out of it. We sort of have Jolene wake up from her previous fight, where our focus is honed in pretty hard on surviving Mr. Meteors, and she gets to look around to see that everybody's already down and bloated and creepy and weird. And it's easy to forget about him, but Mr. Weird robe things, like caveman robes, but I don't know, and then a Roman legionnaire, but with an eye patch and a spike on his helmet that's like Austrian-y. I have no idea what to think about this guy, and we just sort of push him to the side and get to forget that he even exists. But Araki hasn't forgotten, he's just sitting there waiting. Now, he doesn't seem to be contributing meaningfully to this fight, but he might be in ways that we don't understand. And he's getting the opportunity to sit back and observe everyone else. So he's going to come in once he starts fighting, and I assume that he'll end up fighting with Narciso, just because of the way that things line up. He's going to come in with a better understanding of FF's stand and Jolene's stand. but none of Narcisso's, because Narciso is just standing there watching, right? Ah, Kenzo's a cool character design. I have to follow up on one thing before I get this call, and that is finding out who his voice actor is. So I guess I'll go ANN JoJo's Part 6. Mugihito as Kenzo. One name, Mugihito? Mugihito, Japanese voice actor. Goodness, he kind of looks like him. Not really. I'm going to look at him on Mal because that's the easiest way for me to scroll through them. And sorted by number of favorites. Kaseki in Dr. Stone, Doppo Orochi in Grappler Bocchi, Ino Hatsuse in No Game No Life, who's the old fella with the ears, Keel Lawrence in Neon Genesis Evangelion. He's the narrator in Dororo. So far, I haven't seen something that's been like, that's who it is, and he's that guy. And old landlord in Carol and Tuesday, Fudo Kazanari. Fudo Kazanari Senkizesho Symphogear XV. That's the kind of thing that would trigger into my brain space, for sure. For sure. Though it didn't actually click in my mind. Anything else stand out to me as like, oh, that's him playing that old dude. He's an old dude in Space Dandy. He's a number of old dudes in a lot of things. He's got a perfect old dude voice with a sort of vibe to it, and he nails it in this role, I think. Couldn't have been cast better, I don't think. Animatrix, Zone of the Enders, Blackjack. He's in all sorts. I mean, he's been fucking voice acting for 40 years plus. Good God. He's great. He's great and he sells the role really well. I like the episode. I like the enemy. I like the enemy stand. Partly because I really like the idea that it's really quite neutral. It's just the use of some energy, and it's being utilized for destruction and death and negative purposes by this truly evil cult leader character who's been imprisoned here for so long. The cult leader story is also a good one. It's reminiscent of a number of the Kool-Aid style stories that we get from various cults that have really existed, and it particularly reminds me of another story of a cult from a story that I am familiar with, which is an episode in Dollhouse, the Joss Whedon show, which, by the way, if you haven't seen Dollhouse, the Joss Whedon show, I'd recommend it. I think it's a really good show. I think it's a spectacular show, actually. It has to do with mind wiping and replacing people's brains. But there's an episode where there's a cult that gets infiltrated, and this guy's he's running a cult, and on the surface, it's all a very, very nice, very beautiful Christian-y cult thing, and underneath, they're sort of running guns and drugs and stuff. But at the end of things, he gets cornered and decides that the signs that he's seen are that they should not give themselves over to the police who are cornering them, but instead lock them all in the church and burn it down, because that will be the way to salvation for all of them. And it goes a certain way, and I won't spoil that for you, but it's a pretty freaking interesting episode, and one that lines up quite nicely with the story that's told here by Araki. So that's a cool element. I'll bet that we'll probably finish up this first portion of the Dragon's Dream fight in the first moments of the next episode. Now, whether it will be some super play that FF has made, or if one of the other characters has to step in here, I don't know. I figure FF is pretty heel-selfable, and so there might be something to FF getting hit in the back of the head that's meant to lure him in and produce some kind of victory on FF's own. But I just don't know. With all of that being said, thanks for watching. I'm going to take a break here at least, and I haven't gotten the call yet. It's 8 minutes late, so I'm going to go use the bathroom and stuff and sort of putter around a little bit, and if I don't get the call in the next 20 minutes or so, I'll just start back up and I'll watch the next episode. So either way, see you in a second. We'll be back for more JoJo's in just a moment. Cool, thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Bye. Oh, well, all right. So I waited 20 minutes and then decided that I would just call them and be like, hey, I'm supposed to have a phone appointment. I haven't gotten a call yet. And they were like, oh, whoops. Okay, you'll get a call in the next hour. So I could just sit here and wait for an hour and just chill. Instead, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and say that if they interrupt me mid-episode, then I'll just deal with it in editing. So for the present moment, I'm gonna continue watching JoJo's because that seems like a better thing to do with my time and energy and mental experience than just sitting around waiting to get a call. So, give me a sec to do a little syncy thing, and then we'll drop on into the next episode of JoJo's and give it a watch as well. Give ourselves episode 18, and again, if we get interrupted, we'll get interrupted. See you in a sec. All right, we are back, ready to go, all synced up, and I want to watch episode 18 and figure out what the heck is going to happen with this whole Dragon's Dream boy. FF just got her head chopped by a boomerang from a fan that fell from the thing that fell because of a bird that flew into it, because of some flies that flew up from a corpse that got hit by a thing by her arm, I think. So, a weird cascade of events that have all led to her finally getting hit in her weakest spot because that's the way that fate and stuff goes, I guess. Weird, but awesome. The kind of insane shit that only Final Destination comes to mind as another example of something anything like it, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and watch episode 18, see how we resolve this fight with Mr. Kenzo, the feng shui, Tai Chi, flexible weirdo, cult leader, dude, murderer guy. Yeah, let's fuck him up and maybe get introduced to Mr. Spiky Head with an eye patch and the weird garb and all that stuff, who I'm very excited to meet and find out what his whole shtick is. Let's get to it. Beep beep timer. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay, da. Mm. Mm-mm. There are no coincidences. None. Hmm. That one. I love that background. Ah. The sound design on this whole intro has been excellent. And the background music has been great too. It's been really cool. Weird sirens in there. Crazy resonant stuff. Hmm. No living being. Hmm. Well, hell. So what do we do about it? What are you gonna do, Narciso? What is FF already doing? Hmm? Oh, FF isn't bleeding. Ha. Foo Fighters! Hey? But there was water everywhere. What happened to all the water? Wasn't there an immense amount of water from drowning all the people? There was water everywhere. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, yeah. Alright, FF. Enter the Foo Fighters! Fuck you, enter the Dragon's Dream! Enter the Foo Fighters! Let's go! Yeah. It seems like she's seen through your moves now, dude. He's so happy about it. Oh. He got distracted by something? Starting to read the same patterns. Oh. Hard to make a mirror out of water unless you can freeze it. Let's go, FF. Oh, okay. Okay, priorities. 30,000? I thought it was like 34. I guess that was just how many were in the building. Walked in my steps. Yeah, because you drink your own piss, bro. That's why people are laughing at you. Yeah, it's because you drink your own piss, bro. Oh, tears. Yeah, we could use those. Gimme. Gimme. Oh, maybe she'll steal his piss. FF could use his piss to make a mirror. It's sort of a weird attribution of power to luck, right? It's like, oh, because I survived, I must be chosen by feng shui or whatever. Steal his tears, FF! Steal his tears! Water? Oh, agua. Let's go. You've revealed your spot. God, that old man is fast. God, he's so fast. Stop just being that guy who says stuff. He's gonna refuse somehow. Huh. To protect Jolene, he did say so. He did specifically say so. Our deal, right? Yeah, what else is a part of your deal, bro? In exchange, I marry you. Follow the... Yep. Thanks, Dragon. But she has to go that way in order to get the water. She needs water. Oh, okay. I like that track. Wow. Oh. Huh? Inside the tubes. Oh, like a snack. Like a snack eating some. Ugh. Gotta do it. Weird. Let it flow! What? Oh. Shit. I just got the call. No cancer. Never at an advantage. Oh, he's so happy. Oh, they're out of sight, though. Water flows downhill. I don't know. Oh. Lethal injection? Or... Still, interesting. Sick. Oh, so unlucky. So unlucky. Dinks all of the freaking things. Turns all the keys all at once. Oh, and we got a timer. All right, we got a countdown. Let's go. Countdowns are fucking sick. Uh-huh. Stop fighting yourself. Stop fighting yourself. Holy crap. Oh. The worst kind. All of fate conspires to hurt you. Well, I can. You're gonna lose. You will never be at an advantage. Oh, slip. Fuck. God. Ah, brutal. Oh. Oh my gosh. Seriously. Alright, how are we out of this? How do we get out of this? Ow. Well, rip. I guess we lose. FF is dead. There's no hope now. It's just over. Alright, now he's gloating. I don't think most of the Buddhas killed most of their followers, bro. Oh, what's the bubbling? Oh, but you oopsied. Eh? When you kicked them? Your sweat. Ah! Stole your sweat, huh? Is that enough? So what then? Is there a mirror already going? Oh, there's already a mirror. Oh! Nani? The direction is backward. Okay. That's a lot of sweat. That's a lot of sweat. Oh. Is a draw. As long as a little bit of the plankton is not getting electrocuted, right? No safety for you. Oh, full smoke. Oh, yeah. All right. Woo. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Narciso. But my FF, though. But my FF, though. Yeah, cares about people. Let's go, Jolene. Blood? Ow! Oh, jeez. Bacala! You fool! Has it, though? She believes. She believes. Hmm. 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 So he's still alive. Finish it, Jolene. Nope. Oh. Strings. Strings. You can't tell her what to do. Oh my god, a spike of string? Let's go. Sink through the eye. Straight through the eye. Let's go. Oh, he's gonna get to the point of safety. Fuck, shit. So now we'll reveal that FF is alive somehow. Oh. Oh, in the mirror water! Oh! Oh. Slip. Just a little bit into the body. Oh, yada yada dawa. Alright, Narciso enters the fray to protect her, and she puts herself in danger because she knows. That's the idea, actually. Oh. Now, what happens when a stand gets into it? Except that Narcisso's here. Oh, foot in mouth, gross. He's so great and over the top. How did you... Okay, wait, what actually just happened? Now I don't know. Yeah, tell him off, Dragon. Hmm. Hmm. Eh? The dragon doesn't know! This was a Narciso thing, right? Had to be. What are you doing, Narciso? Yes. Okay. The soundtrack is great. Because it redirects energy? Yeah. Ugh. Ah. Ah, that's way more bones than you have, bro. Oh, no. Ah. it's so funny and so gross at the same time. What the shit? Ugh. Without permission, too. I guess I don't understand how Diver Down works at all. Cool. God, the noises. It's gotta be celery sticks or something crunching. Ugh. Why is he getting more spiraled? There is no direction of safety. You're wrapped up in circles, bro. This is the worst. This is the worst. Oh my god. Oh, no! 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 Bro. God. The fuck are you? Duh! Awful. Awful. The worst end we've had to a stand user maybe ever. I mean, turn a dude into a rock is pretty bad, but that's next level. Turn a dude into spirals. Just reminds me of Uzuma. Bone guy. Little man. Short dude. Alright, cool. An actual endpoint without a cliffhanger. Fucking amazing. Wouldn't have expected that. Gah. Freaking spirals. Okay, so we can take the little bit of FF that's left and put that back in the body, and it'll do its own healing thing with enough water, right? Yeah, okay. Cool. So nothing lost. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, nothing lost. Great. Inescapable fate. Gross. Gross. It's really the perfect stand enemy for Araki, an author who writes insane circumstances to write out the most insane circumstances that could possibly happen via a series of coincidences and, like, crazy bad luck. That's really cool. It really is the perfect Araki stand, I think. I fully didn't expect that, sorry. Oh, FF is just back. I didn't even track to me. The bone. Oh, we see where the JoJo is. Hello. Damn, that's some weird tech. Alright, there we go. Fuck yeah. I really, really like this episode. The previous one, fun as heck. Very, very enjoyable. This one, that was nuts. I was saying it as we headed out, but I really think that the super lucky unlucky stand is it's a stellar, a rocky stand. As a person who we talked about at the beginning of the thing, the series of coincidences that Araki comes up with to make things happen and to manifest the story that he wants to tell and the way that he wants each of these battles to play out you have to suspend your disbelief for them, and that's fine. It's a story. It's an enjoyable shonen battle manga story where suspension of disbelief is part of the thing. It's a bizarre adventure. It's insanity. It's craziness. Having a stand that on the tin, on the box, on the label says the craziest shit is going to happen in order to make the luck play out really just works extraordinarily well for getting that across to us as viewers. And it lets him do some insane stuff like the whole boomerang sequence of Doom, or falling down into the electrical chair and then the pipe or the hose that you bring with you tangles up and bounces in a bunch of ways and like wraps around the key and turns the key knob and pushes all the buttons, and then you trip and slip and fall into the thing and it all ding 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 ding. Just to backward justify, to come up with all of those circumstances to lead to the thing is kind of a work of its own kind of genius, and I can't think of any other author who could come up with something as insane as that. It's almost Sherlock Holmesy in that you sort of start with the conclusion that you want and have to work back, or Doyle would have had to work back in order to produce the mysterious circumstances that would lead to this crazy thing happening that's inexplicable except by the greatest genius. Except that we don't have the great genius character in the show. We get to be that ourselves and puzzle it out as, again, Araki really unfolds his own mysteries for us. And given that he's the one unfolding his own mystery, he gets to control the pacing of it and the flow of it and the way that it all ends up being portrayed, and it ends up being freaking spectacular. It ends up being freaking spectacular. The twisty crunchy bones in the legs thing got me. Actually got me. I don't think I'm the most squeamish person. I'm not like super squeamish when it comes to blood and guts and gore and stuff. Like, I'll just handle it most of the time, but crunching sounds do something to me, and the number and the quantity of bones that are all that's too many bones. It's just too many bones. That's more bones than a human should have, and it's more bones than the creepy goblin man should have, and I don't like it. But there's something really powerful. I can't wait to kind of go back through the edit and see my own reaction to it, because I was just couldn't help but oscillate between giggling like a fool at this insane circumstance as he's boing, boing, boinging around, and we get the sort of goofy, funny time music going at the same time, and then it interrupts that with crunch, crack, crunch, and horror. That oscillation between comedy and horror really sells a certain vibe to me that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed it. I've always found comedy and horror to be a unique pairing, a fun pairing, and I love comedy horror films, or films that have that intersection of humor and grossness. There's something about the extremity of those emotions. They're in the realm of the uncontrollable for us as viewers, as experiencers. When something happens that is really funny and makes you laugh, you can try to stifle it, but you can't help yourself from laughing. And when something happens that's really gross and scary, you get an emotional response from it that's not conscious. Like, you don't choose to have that response. you can sort of turn off an emotionally resonant experience. You can sort of distance yourself from drama, but humor grasps you and pulls you out of yourself, and horror has a tendency to do the same thing. It's why well, I took a class on horror cinema a while ago. It was one of the core filmic classes that I took and should have pursued as like a major and as my main interest. But as my side interest when I was in school, I took a course on horror cinema. And one of the things that really stood out to me was my professor, who was fantastic. His explanation of horror direction being a really good place for good directors to start, or maybe backwards figuring it out and saying more that a lot of great directors get their start in horror because the nature of horror filmmaking is manipulation of the emotions of the viewer. If you can do horror properly, then you're using the audio and the music and the pacing and the scenes and the scene composition and the flow of everything to produce an emotional feeling in the audience that they can't help. And if you can master that manipulation, then you can master all the other forms of manipulation that you need in order to convey things effectively to the viewer. Something about horror does that, and something about comedy does it too. And seeing so clearly the two match together and experiencing over the last 5 minutes of this episode that oscillation between the two, where I was literally giggling and uncontrollably, that's very funny, and then, that's very creepy and awful and gross and like, your mirror neurons fire and you imagine sort of what it might feel like to have legs twisted up and crunching. That's really what's going on there, is empathy with the character on screen, is this feeling of empathetic pain resonance is what you're doing there. Having it oscillate between those two really demonstrated to me that you can marry the two things together in a way that becomes its own sort of emotional roller coaster experience, because you would think that they'd be on opposite ends of the spectrum of things. Horror and humor are opposites, kind of, but they're not really. It's more like, with many things, it's more like a horseshoe-shaped magnet where the two extremes are actually quite a bit closer together than any other points on the magnet, They sort of come back together to that uncontrollable base emotional level that you can't really help. And that kind of makes sense in a way. Well, in a couple of ways. One way is that we, as humans, have a tendency to experience the schadenfreude type of thing, where we laugh at the misfortune of others. There's an element of that to the end sequence here, where we're laughing at this guy who has been set up as a horrible, horrible person, multi-murderer, self-justifying, just being like, yeah, I'm great. And then, of course, taking the fact that his feng shui luck saved him and using that to be like, to be his justification for moving on into the future, be like, the founder has returned. The proof is in the fact that I've lived. The world wants me to survive, and it wants me to prove myself, and it wants me to continue teaching my horrifying teachings and whatnot. So we don't like him very much, and we're okay with bad things happening to him. It's important when you have horrible things happen to a character that you distance the audience members from them and make it seem like they deserve it a little bit. Otherwise, it just feels like punishment for punishment's sake. That's a different kind of story. That's a martyr story or a redemption story or that kind of thing. This is a just desserts type of story where this guy's the worst, and so he gets a pretty bad result because he's the worst. Okay. Something about the Freude, the I don't actually know if that's what that means, but the Schadenfreude type of thing, the experiencing joy at the pain of others, is an element there. Also, the humor at the pain of others. You watch a lady slip and fall down in a funny way, and you go, ha ha ha. It's cruel and it's awful, and it drives us back to our chimp ancestors, who their laugh response is the showing and baring of teeth and ha 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 ha, right? It's like it's a grin of evil. And that is what we're doing there. It's the same set of circuits and the same set of expressions and behaviors. So I did some research because I just wanted to make sure that I was correct about this, and it turns out that I'm totally wrong. The bared teeth grin is a sign of submission. The wide open mouth and intense staring face is like an intention to bite, which is a threat. And generally, when chimps laugh, it's as a response to tickling or other things and used as a social lubricant, somewhat similar to the way that we do it. There's no indication that it's like a schadenfreude type of response or an evil type of grin. I'm just wrong, and I'm not sure where I got that idea. It's that married with this fear grossness thing that's this other deep-seated emotional response, and together it creates something special. Creates something special and awful and truly crunchy and gross. One thing that I'll say about this episode, and I don't know who to attribute this to, it may be the sound designer and the sound director for the whole thing, but it does stand out to me from the beginning of the episode. I started mentioning that, wow, I really like that soundtrack piece. Wow, I really like what they're doing with the sound design in this section. Even in the intro recap section, there was a real feeling of a soundscape going on. And everything from the Foley to the weird siren noises that sometimes were in the background to the choices of sound effects being used to the way that different characters' musical cues and, every character sort of has their own thematic song. You've got the Foo Fighters theme song, Jolene's theme as she goes down the stairs, Narcisso's theme, I assume, as he brings his stuff to bear. All of those elements were woven together into an audio layer in the episode that I found very compelling and that I found added a lot to the episode. And I could spend some time looking on ANN and trying to figure out who's responsible for that. I would guess that it's just an intersection of things where the sound director was really on point when they did the mastering for this episode, and the Foley artists really did the work on the crunchy stuff real well with breaking celery, probably, maybe various vegetables. You could do twigs and all sorts of stuff. It's really fun to look into the way that Foley gets done, bones breaking and stuff, is cracking eggs or snapping a bunch of twigs. Or again, breaking celery is really one of the big ones that I know that they do often. It all works together in a really, really compelling and effective way that gave me the wibblies for a little bit, both in the ha-ha, hee-hee, funny, and the oh no, that's gross sort of way. I also love the interplay between the dragon talking to the stand user. It's goofy as hell, and the dragon being the one who reveals the folly of Kenzo as he discovers that the mirror is there and all that stuff, all lines up to make a really fun section and a fun finish to the fight. Next time, we're going to find out who Mr. Spikehead happens to be and what his deal is, and I'm excited to do that because that should be really enjoyable as well. Now, I should follow through with the manga reading, I think. I've got the time, I've got the energy, and I've got the desire to do it, so give me a second to set that up. I have to do that slightly differently from how I've been doing it because I don't want to be an asshole who steals stuff or infringes copyright. So I'm gonna do it separately recorded, and give me a minute to get it set up, and then we'll go ahead and we'll go through the manga. I don't know that I'll read it directly the whole way through. I may just read it silently and comment on portions that stand out to me as a bit of a different format for doing this, because we just watched the storyline itself, and I don't feel like reading the entire thing or reading it out loud is really what I want to spend my time on. You can let me know in the future if you've really been enjoying the manga readings as they've been or whatnot, but I'm going to experiment with this and mess with it a little bit and probably chop it up as I go. So give me a second to figure out where I even saved the manga, and we'll move from there. Okie dokie. So, Meteor, let me see, I'm recording properly. I believe that I'm recording properly. Hopefully I'm recording properly. Meteor, and here we are. Game set with the Doperino. So that was our final frame right there. And we are onward. I'm not going to read everything out. I'm just going to look at the pages and I will mention things. And just what I'll do is when I edit through, I'll use the portions where I'm speaking and I'll just keep those in and I'll leave the parts where I'm not speaking out. Okay, they look pretty different. Obviously, they look the same. Wait, he's not wearing the same hat. It's like a baseball hat, but with a spike on it. Okay, that's super different. That gives me a totally different vibe off of that guy. And then he doesn't look as small or unintimidating. He looks a lot scarier here. But And oh, nice. Yeah, the little dude's got 3 baelets. What are you gonna do? He's got 3 of them, maybe more that we can't see. Creepy. They've got the ribs all correct. They got that down. The long eyebrows are perfect. And then I didn't mention it, but I kept thinking it. The way that his forehead wrinkles is almost like another set of ribs inside his head, and then more ribs here, gives him this emaciated, creepy impression that I think is meant to evoke like well, as he says, he wants to be viewed as a Buddha, a great Buddha, or a great guru or savior, and it evokes the sort of self-deprivation that you get from seekers of enlightenment. So there's that element to it, and then, of course, that belies his actual creepy nature and freaky stuff. It has to be one of these 2. And where's that little guy? Where'd that little guy go? All right, so here we start it with the little head to the side thing. And this is what I'm looking forward to the most, is seeing some of these poses go. I love Jolene in tatters, still takes her own stance, and of course it's a crazy Iraqi stance. Awesome. Crack, 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 pull, pull, pull. Too far. It's so just right. Ugh, creepy. It's hard to read your actions. 4 stand users, including me. Why that many? But, and it's 5 because there's the one more. There it is. There you go. Full splits. Okay, click. Click. Nope. My name is Kenzo. Oh, and he's missing teeth here. He's missing quite a few. Okay. My secret to good health is sleeping for precisely 8.5 hours a day, as well as urine therapy. The important thing is to continue it. Have you heard of it? Urine therapy? I have. There are people who swear by it. I've never done it, so I really don't have an opinion, except it seems gross to me. There are people who swear by drinking their own piss. I don't know. I will say, the 8+ hours of sleep every day is so far beyond crucial, it's not even funny. Go watch the TED Talk by Matthew Walker. It's called Sleep is Your Superpower. That's a great place to start. 6 hours of sleep every day reduces your lifespan significantly. So you might think you're getting more time out of it because you're sleeping less, and so you have more time to do stuff. You're not. Also, your ability to do literally everything in your life decreases exponentially when you start removing hours of sleep from yourself. Sleep is the fundament. We sleep before we wake. We think of ourselves as awaking creatures that go to sleep as a way to recharge. That ain't it. We're sleeping creatures who get to wake up sometimes because we were sleeping well. The sleeping part is where we start, and it's where we're closer to what we actually are, which is sort of lumps of meat embodied by a spirit that really needs to be doing its own spirit stuff and its own mind thing, and you gotta do the sleep thing. I've been working over these past months that I've been kind of absent and freaked out and fucked up on figuring out some of the basics, and that's what I've called it. It's the basics. There's a Google Doc. I'll try to remember to link it when I upload this video. I might fuck it up. If I do fuck it up, just let me know in the comments, and I'll hit you with a link for it. It's open to anybody, and anybody can suggest stuff to it as well. But it's my attempt to write out some of the fundamental elements that you need to get sorted in your life to have a life, to be okay. And the first one is sleep. It's really the first one. Before you can do anything else, before you can manage any of the other things in your life, before you can exercise, eat, hydrate, anything, you need to get your fucking sleep. It's the priority. I forget who exactly it was. It was a doctor on a podcast somewhere who was saying basically, when I get people in who are really fucked up, I basically tell them, you're not going to work, you're going to sleep, and then you're going to eat, and then you're going to hang out, and we'll figure out some other stuff for you to do, and maybe you can exercise, but essentially we just need to get your sleep schedule sorted, and that's the first thing to do, and it's the priority. And once we do that, we can start managing the other things in your life. but the priority is you need to be asleep when it's dark, and you need to wake up kind of when it's light, and you need to get some sunlight in your eyes kind of when it's light, and then you need to go to sleep again at the same time the next day. And you need to do that for a few days in a row, and then you'll start to be a human. If you mess with your sleep for just a couple days in a row, you're not a human anymore. You're basically, you regress. You become a chimpanzee. You become way less capable of denying yourself temptations. Things pop up that are things that you do. Shiny, ooh, shiny. Your ability to manage that goes away. Your ability to prevent yourself from doing the things that will be hurting you goes away. You fall apart. You just fall apart. It's the foundation of everything is your sleep. So while Kenzo has not very many good ideas, one good idea that this boy has absolutely is sleeping a lot. 8.5 hours a day, I don't care. I don't care if it's precisely this or precisely that. Everybody's a little bit different. Nobody's that different. Everybody follows essentially 90-minute-esque cycles of sleep. It's the ultradian rhythm, I think. We run in about 90-minute cycles throughout the day. It's how our focus works. It's how our sleep works. It's how our brain works. And it's about the way that you function. If you get a sleep tracker application, I would recommend Sleep as Android if you happen to be an Android user. There's one for iPhone, but I'm not an iPhone user, so I just don't know. Sleep as Android, it's free. It doesn't have ads in it. It's really quite useful. And what it will do is it'll use either like little sonar pulses or just the accelerometer. Place it on your bed and it'll use the accelerometer to determine how much you move around and stuff during your sleep, and use that to determine or track where in your sleep cycle you are. If you wear a Fitbit or a fitness tracker or a smartwatch or something like that, you're probably already doing this. But what you'll see as you look through those is that you go through essentially approximately 90-minute cycles where you drop into deep sleep and then REM sleep, deep sleep, and back up out of that. And following those cycles, you end up figuring out that about 8 hours into a sleep cycle, there will be a point where you probably want to wake up, and that's where you probably want to wake up. And everybody's kind of about the same on that front. There are really very few outliers. Humans, we're all mostly the same structure down to the basics. It's really tempting to be like, oh, but I'm special and I'm different. You probably aren't. It's possible, but it's a rarity. So the things that work for almost everyone will probably work for you. And one of the things that works for almost everyone is 8+ hours of sleep every day. Now, if you are watching freaking Navy SEALs and Jocko Willink being like, I sleep for 2.5 hours and I've got all this energy, good for him, freaking weirdo. Probably not you. Definitely not me. I've tried it. Doesn't work for me very well. I gotta sleep. I gotta sleep a lot. And you probably do too. So anyway, we'll go from there. Yes! Yeah, here we go. If you want to go, I'll gladly accept. This is American style. French style. Oh, it's this. I see. Okay. Japanese style. Is that akambe? Akambe. I know that because of Precure. Akambe. It is. It is akambe. I know that because of Precure. There's one of the seasons, all of the villains are akambes. They're people who spite others and are assholes. Akambe, and they all say that when they turn into it doesn't matter. It's Precure. I rotated it. Why did I? Okay, there we go. Italian, Naples specifically. The world's fingers for fuck off. Fuck yeah. Let's start from the conclusion. I love that. These prisoners all drowned, and that tells us from the beginning that he's got something predictive going on, right? I love it. Because I drowned them, their bodies are bloated. And it seems as if you're not first on my list yet. Step, clink, punch. Punch, clunk, flip. Because FF. Okay. I was like, not first on my list right yet. Okay, right. He's punching FF. Spring. Wow, cool momentum. I love the little spirals that indicate passing through space. Really cool. Araki's ability to generate momentum out of still frames is it's up there. It's up there with the best of the best, because Araki is maybe the greatest mangaka of all time. Miura has a claim, obviously, in a different way. When it comes to conveying a story, though, and, like, conveying momentum and stuff, I don't fucking know. There are a few, and they're a handful of, maybe a god handful, haha, of greats, and Araki is certainly amongst them. Nero, FF! Blam, 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 blam. Shoop! And dodged, blocked, fuck. I'll fill in those wounds in just a second. Tunk, 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 tunk. That's... Who is that? Who is that guy? Who's that weirdo? And the dude wearing all the fishnets and the thigh highs and the thong? Who is that guy? But before that, Jolene, leave this geezer to me. Wah, 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 wah. He's so confident, because of course he is. He's got the ability to see all the weaknesses and all the weak points. It's kind of, I mean, the stand that they're all under the effect of gives you the ability to see the strongest points of people, so he's kind of the opposite. I wonder why we didn't do any interplay with that, where he sees the weak spots on people, and then Jolene, because of being affected by the thing, is supposed to be able to see the strong points on people. That just sort of evaporated. She does mention later that she's not feeling pain because of it, but it doesn't seem to be playing in a part anymore. And it doesn't seem to have had any effect on FF as far as we can tell. Maybe because their anatomy is different? I don't know. Also, just by the way, I keep calling FF she instead of they, and I apologize for that. Sorry. Wow, 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 wow. Sick. Sick. Face, southeast, 120. Blah, blah, blah. Cool. Sweat. It's falling. Will you open your lips? Weird. Pure dodge. Nani? Bam! And down the hatch. Ugh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Planet waves, meteors from the sky. Alright, yep. Alright, 5 to 7 minutes even for trained swimmers. Man, 5 to 7 minutes even for trained swimmers is high. I think we'd be talking about like free divers at that point, people who have trained themselves for oxygen deprivation, but also more importantly, hyper carbon dioxide stuff. And that's a Huberman piece of knowledge. Interesting. Okay, but if you were to expel all the oxygen, a few drops would do it on its own. I don't even think you need the water. You just expel all the oxygen, and then they die from suffocation real fast. Whoa, what? What is this? Made a pact. Wants to marry her, just met him, family, friendship. Goes to the punishment ward in order to pursue the bone. Bring her closer to Whitesnake, friendship with Hermes, recovering from injuries. Has gotten revenge on the sister, Sports Max, nice. His ability to bring back the dead gave power to the bone. The bone moves around, seemingly it's on its own. The only part of Dio that was left after he turned to dust from his right leg. This little guy has it. Needs Dio's bone to go to heaven. The kingdom of heaven is within you. We'll see. We'll see how much Christian theology Araki's familiar with, honestly. I mean, we had plenty of stuff with Giorno and Diavolo and the son of Dio and the son, sacrificing son of God sort of thing to the there are elements of it that definitely track with the theological ramifications. There are also elements that are kind of like Anno. Like Anno using Christian symbolism in Evangelion without really understanding what it did. There are elements of that too. I don't know. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Really, really we'll find out. Alright, Old Man Kenzo. Guard Westwood put out of commission. Unknown. Not listed. No idea. Spike Boy. Baseball cap. No clue. Survivor. Fighting Spirit. User unknown. Might be the little guy. I don't know. Well, there's Old Man Kenzo. Spike Head. Little guy. There should be 4 total. And maybe 4 plus Survivor, because we don't know if Survivor is one of those 4. I just don't know. And Weather is also recovering from injuries. Okay, did I miss anything important? Okay, Whitesnake, Poochie, has the ability to rob people of their spirit by transforming it into discs. What is ultimate happiness? He calls the notion of stepping outside of human boundaries as going to heaven. And he needs Dio in order to do it. Because Dio knows how to do it. He's done it, you might say. And he might have. Ooh, baby, na, 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 na. Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. Sorry for my terrible out-of-key singing. It's just, that's a hell of a frame. Okay. Cool anatomy stuff, first off. This is the kind of stuff where Araki really gets to show his shit and demonstrate his comprehension of human anatomy to a degree that a lot of artists do not have. Araki can really draw. He can really draw. But Araki is also, he's Rohan. He's not just a person who draws what he sees. He's a person who goes and looks for things to draw. He goes and experiences and looks for things in the world in the way that the great artists, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, have done for forever. A lot of the important dissections that have been done in history were done by artists to figure out how the fuck the body works so they could draw it better. And Araki follows in those traditions, literally follows in those traditions. And that's clear from the way that he poses things, continuously referencing the great sculptures and the great pieces of art and painting. Araki can really draw, but that foundation of really being able to draw is built on a foundational understanding of human anatomy that is way beyond what most people ever consider when they start drawing. People nowadays, as far as I can determine, and this is true in a huge spectrum, and it's untrue at one end of that spectrum, try to draw the way that other people draw. So you look at anime characters and you draw anime characters like people draw anime characters, and you go, great, I can draw anime characters. But can you really draw? There's an element in the animator's survival kit that's about this. This is the Animator Survival Kit by Richard Williams. It's a great text. And 23. Drawing in Time. I'm just going to read a section of this book to you. Let me just show you. Oh yeah, the power of many cameras. Fuck. Okay. So this has a gorgeous life drawing on this side, and then this section right here, which probably won't be visible, but I'm just going to read it to you anyway, so there you go. Time to draw. This section is really for classical animators. However, I haven't been surprised to find that most of the leading computer animators draw rather well, so it may be interesting to them too. It certainly helps enormously to be able to put down your ideas, even in stick figures. For the classical animator, it is crucial. Drawing should become second nature so that the animator can concentrate on the actual actions and the timing of them and give the performance life. When you're doing cartoons all the time, it's very easy to slide into formula drawing. During the making of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is, he's the director of animation for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, considered one of the greatest pieces of classical cartoon animation ever done, I found this pinned up on our notice board. Epitaph of an Unfortunate Artist. He found a formula for drawing comic rabbits. This formula for drawing comic rabbits paid, so in the end he could not change the tragic habits this formula for drawing comic rabbits made, by Robert Graves. Life drawing is the antidote to this. When you're doing life drawing, you're all alone. One of the main reasons animators, once they become animators, don't like to spend their evenings and spare time life drawing is because it's not a collaborative operation. Animation is usually a group effort, and one has the stimulus of constant interaction, both competitive and cooperative, with the cut and thrust, highs and lows, political factions of complaint and inspiration, all the tensions and anxieties, rewards and excitement of group production. With life drawing, With life drawing, there's no one to admire your efforts, rather the reverse. It's always shocking to find you're not as advanced or skilled as you thought you were, and since it's about the hardest thing to do with no rewards other than the thing itself, it's no wonder few do it or stick at it. Most animators are exhausted at the end of a day's work and have families to go home to. Also, one has to do a lot of life drawing to get anywhere, not just a bit at a time here and there, but the fact remains that there is no replacement for the hard work of solid life drawing. There is one payoff, and it is substantial, the gradual and fundamental improvement of all of one's work. Winsor McKay once said, "If I were starting over again, the first thing I'd do would be to make a thorough study of draftsmanship. I would learn perspective, then the human figure both nude and clothed, and surround it with proper setting." And Milt Kahl said, I don't think it's possible to be a top-notch animator without being an excellent draftsman. You have to try for the whole thing, got to know the figure. Know the figure well enough so that you can concentrate on the particular person, on the difference, why this person is different from somebody else. The ability to draw and be able to turn things, and the knowledge that enables you to caricature and exaggerate in the right direction and emphasize the difference between things is what you're doing all the time. Anytime you're doing a strong drawing of anything well, your drawing is strong because you're depicting why this is different from something else. You need that figure drawing background in order to sharpen. Every animator should have this background, and unfortunately, they don't. You just can't know too much. If you're going to lampoon something or do a satire, you have to understand the straight way. It gives you a jumping off point. It gives you a contrast. You just do it and do it and do it. Art Babbitt is blunter. If you can't draw, forget it. You're an actor without arms and legs. And I will leave it off there in order to avoid going through and infringing more of the copyright of this fantastic text, and I will instead simply say, this is a great piece of advertisement for the power of this text itself. When it comes to literally anything that you want to know about animation, this is the book. I cannot claim to have read it all the way through. I've skimmed through, I've looked at every page of this book. Have I read every page? Absolutely not. But it is beyond chock full of not just how to draw certain things, but how to put them together into frame and line them up. The actual the math work of putting frames together and laying them out across frames, where to do in-betweens, how to space things out over time, how to draw fucking traditional walk cycles. If you ever wanted to animate a thing, or here you go. Here are your picture and sound sync stuff. If you ever wanted to know anything about animating anything, get this fucking book. Go literally pay for it, purchase it somewhere, and make it a part of your collection. It's incredibly useful. Okay, so I bring that up because Araki is a personification of it. I'm going to add another layer to that set of statements by, Richard Williams. By Richard Williams, which is this. Figure drawing figures as you see them, is one thing. Anatomical understanding. Real deep to the bone level understanding of how a human is put together, and how animals are put together, and how muscles slide across each other, and where the organs are, and how that's all linked to bone and the sticks that we are all fleshed around. That level of understanding is rare even amongst great life artists, great figure drawers artists, figure portraitists, or draftspeople. The actual deep anatomical understanding is rare. And Araki he's one of them. He's one of the greats, really, truly. There's a story, I think it's about Raphael. It comes from another book. This book, which I'll just hold up, and because I'm not actually going to show it to you. Great Artists, which I grabbed from a used bookstore for like $4, $8. There's a story in it that he would simply take pieces of cloth and drape them over objects and then spend hours fucking drawing them, and then take the piece of cloth and flip it around and drape it over something else and draw it in order to figure out the way that cloth folds and hangs and ripples and holds itself and is, because you need to do that in order to understand cloth. Araki understands cloth. You can see it in the frame that we're looking at right now on the far right, where we've got the back of the character. It's one of the things that stands out the most about Araki's work are the billowing pant legs and the jackets and the texture and suppleness and color and feel and flow and form and solidity of the cloth and clothing that his characters wear. It's why Araki is almost worshipped in some fashion circles, because he knows how cloth works. And most people fucking don't, unless they work with cloth all the time. Or here in the center, where we've got FF depicted in this great wave, in this psychological environment, we can see as her shoulder and arm and everything foreshortens and the elements of the hand move and hold themselves in directions. You can tell that Araki is thinking first of the placing of the bones and then layering muscle on top of it, and he's drawing like a sculptor in a lot of ways. And it just demonstrates a real comprehension of anatomy, the foundations of what's underneath the surface of what he's drawing, that allow him to frame out the sort of cloth that's draped over the skeleton. Because in some ways, your musculature and organs and skin are like so many layers of draped hanging things hanging off of the hooks and prongs of your bones and skeleton. If you really examine your body effectively, for example, we see the pelvis here. The pelvis is two hooks. The hip bones are hooks that hold the rest of your leg muscles together, and they're all sort of hanging off of them. We're stacked on top of bone, on top of bone, on top of bone, with all our muscle sort of hanging off of it. Like so much draped cloth. If you look at the latissimus dorsi of a human, they drape up to the shoulders and then hang off of that and link down and hang down like curtains almost to the spine and to the pelvis and to the hips. And same with the trapezius that come up and connect to the back of the head and the back of the neck. Those drape down and hang off of the body. We're so many curtains, so many billowing folds of fabric layered over top of the bone structure of our anatomy. And so many artists don't get it. And they don't get it because they draw what they see. They draw, well, more what they think they see than what they see. They draw the outsides, and they haven't done the investigative work to see what's layered underneath. So I just want to point it out because sometimes Araki gets to really show his stuff. And when it pops in and we see an incredible depiction of the anatomy of the spine that's near perfectly accurate. I mean, let me pull up. And there, and oh yeah, that's a fun, weird drawing that I did a little bit ago. I was actually trying to draw like a road into somewhere, and it ended up turning into this creepy fucking eye of lasers going somewhere. That was a tree sketch that I did. This was this is my friend chopping wood. I just sort of tried to draw that. That was just an ideation that was interesting, and oh, a bad cat. Great. And there's a landscape in here somewhere, but I don't fucking know where it went. Maybe it's on the back of one of these. Oh, there it is. Yeah, a landscape that I got from the top of a rock with a row of houses going off into the distance and stuff. I've been drawing. And honestly, I read that section on life drawing and then took some paper and I went and was like, oh, fuck, I gotta go draw some real stuff. Let me go find the skeletal system. Oh, there's your pelvis, and you can see that Araki has it exactly right. Like, exactly right. And, of course, the rib cage, the individual vertebrae, and up through to the whole spine? Whole spine? Whole spine. Whole spine. Pelvis. And then I think we link it together in a moment through here. But nope, we're moving off to joints and ligaments and stuff. So, but here you can see this is where the hips come together. And let me show you what I mean by some of the muscular stuff. So this is the trapezius here. This sort of diamond shaped muscle, which you could see if it were over here as well, it would be diamond shaped. And then from the shoulder here, you've got the draping of the deltoid, and then you can see that this is the latissimus dorsi, which links up to the front of the shoulder, up around here, and sort of drapes down and hangs between there and where it connects through to the lower to the lumbar vertebrae. And you can see that you've got your spinal erectors that are all hanging through and holding everything up, and your chest musculature, your pectorals sort of hang off of the shoulders, and the abdominals sort of hang off of the ribs. It's all sort of hanging there. But the one that really stands out to me is is this, where you've got the pubic tubercle and the hip bone itself, the iliacus, and from that, all of the muscles of the front of your leg hang, and then contract in order to move your leg forward. And then on the reverse, your glutes hang off of the reverse side of that, and then the hamstrings hang down below it, and the gastrocs hang down below your knees. And it's all sort of hanging there at rest, and then it contracts and does something. And Araki, like, has drilled that shit into his brain so many fucking times that he can just draw it without thinking. And sort of as Richard Williams was discussing in his text, once you have that fundamental understanding of the way that things actually are, you can draw how they're different. And so we can draw out a little creepy character like this guy, and his whole frame and being and form and way of standing evokes a different set of expressions and feelings because he's different from the norm. Because Araki knows exactly how to draw the norm and how to alter it. That's art. That's creation. That's the generation of a real person. As far as our brains are concerned, Kenzo is real. He's as real as could be because he's as unique and weird and fucked up and strange as any real person you're ever going to meet. And if you go around and you walk around in real life and just evaluate and look at some of the people you see, you'll see short, squat people with short torsos and long legs, and you'll see, like, weird-shaped people with big bellies and broad shoulders and short little legs and long arms, and there are all sorts of people built all sorts of ways. Very few of us are shaped like Da Vinci's perfect whatever man, Vitruvian man, whatever it is. Very few of us are shaped that way. Most of us are some weird variation of it, and really knowing the foundations allows you to explore all of that incredibly detailed, intricate human space. Okay, so big aside just from seeing some bones on here, but I think that's some important stuff to talk about, and maybe more compelling than I know. So let me know if you enjoyed that little aside about the stuff that I've found passion in recently when evaluating art and stuff, because that's the stuff that, as I'm going through Araki's work, I'm just flabbergasted by his real, deep, genuine artistic ability, and also the obvious years and years and years of study that this man has put into his work and keeps putting in. You know, we're on part 6 and he's drawing part 9. Like, the man keeps evolving, and he's not going to stop anytime soon. At least I hope not. So there's a lot to learn, and it should impress you, and it should sort of bowl you over and knock your socks off a little bit, and I think it should evoke a little bit of awe. You know, we see so much art these days, and, well, you can go to pixai.art or the novel AI image generator and just go human under wave screaming, and it'll generate 4,000 AI generated super images of it, and they'll all be weird and kind of perfect, sort of. So there's this flooding of artistic expression, and it's missing something. So much of it is missing something. And some of that something is the years of study that Araki has put in to create off of the framework of reality. And it's just impressive. It's really impressive to me. Okay. FF! And he turns away. Drowning time. Poke! And FF gets out of it. Nice. Blink, blink, blink. He dodges all that shit almost and still gets caught. I love the way that leg whips around. I liked the way that it happened in the episode, but again, we've got Araki demonstrating motion here. Oh, and then of course, layering that on top of actually draftsmaning out all these landscapes and environments and stuff with the framework and the fences and putting the characters into settings that actually make sense, and then laying that out into panels so that your eye flows around them, and it has this evocative effect of flow and time and pacing when you read through a static object, because you're reading through a static object. You're looking at a static page, and yet, because of the flow of panels, it evokes a timing. It creates timing inside your brain, because your eye can't take it in all at once. You skip around on it and then read through it. Boggles my noggin. Boggles my noggin. What are you? Don't stand. What are you talking about? It's JoJo's. Okay. We should just observe. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? But the problem is his ability to dodge the bullets. Why didn't they hit him? Oh my gosh. I love you. I've been dying to come here for you. Huh? Huh? Perfect. Perfect. So that's why they used that cutout frame that I mentioned before, because Araki did the exact same thing. We get these blank landscapes where Jolene gets popped out of her environment in order to... The fuck? What? I don't know you, bro. All right. Yeah, he's an idiot who drinks his own piss. Awesome. Killing a bunch of people, 280 years. Founder of a cult organization, super famous, locked himself in his villa, attempted a mass suicide. Somehow he survived. The walls of the building collapsed and shielded him. Ah, the flow within your body. What is it? Makes no difference. You'll still die. Wow. Hello, dragon. I'll say this. The dragon is freaking weird. It, looks weird, and it's made of jade, sort of, or something like it. Using CG to generate the dragon worked really well, I think. Strange movements, weird thing in his hands, boom. And there it is. Hello, Durgan. Can't shoot it. Ah! Nope, I'm neutral. Doesn't do a thing. Don't attack me, it's not gonna hit anyway. I told you, the one you gotta beat is the user. GG! Don't you get it, Baka? I'm neutral. Be careful, and he's coming towards you. Wow. I personally can't interfere in this battle. Who you gotta go for is that old man. He's your enemy. Here he comes. Oh, and there we go. Block, 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 block. Awesome. Awesome. And I like the way that they adapted that as well. Such agility. Now I can enter the dragon. Do you think it's an intentional reference to Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee? I'm gonna say I think so. I'm gonna say I think so. How could it not be? How could it not be? It's martial arts with the freaking entering the dragon. It's perfect. I do not understand some of the mechanics of the stand, like why he rips his arm off and it becomes a part of it. I don't know. But it goes and it flies toward the back of FF's head. I'm just staring at this frame, like the use of FF's hips and then shoulders to generate space, classical anatomy on a weird foreshortened angle, and then the insanity of him floating in the air above with the... It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Bam. Semi-blocked. The blood splatters, the rats come, and we get those pieces all clicking together. Does your arm fly off when you touch it or something? That doesn't explain it at all. Wrong, FF. I can already see what will happen. Well, not that anybody else but me can see this coming, but... Hey, you talk too much. I thought you were neutral. It's not fair if you keep everything to yourself. Tell her! It's cute. It's cute. It's really silly. And then the rats, they clink the thing. It closes the thing. It shoots the eyeglasses at FF. Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Ah, you opened your mouth. A coincidence? No coincidences. That's probably feng shui. Wind water. Designated and predetermined course. Dragon-like stand determining the direction of his attacks. Super sick. Okay, it's not fortune-telling, it's just direction. Energetic. General well-being. Right. For example, bed no longer against a window, desk in lines that I can see the doorway. There are some elements the way that I've rearranged my room that sort of have some background in the feng shui. So, feng shui assassination. Super sick. The idea of putting shrines in the unlucky areas in order to solidify a castle's like energy defenses is pretty cool to me as well. That's a cool piece of Iraqi history lore stuff that I don't even know if it's true, but I believe it, and I'll go on for the rest of my life believing that it's true, and nobody can dissuade me of it because Iraqi told me. He also told me that I could turn myself into goop, and plankton can be their own living entity that's conscious and take over a dead body, and I believe those too. Why would I disbelieve them? Araki said so. Duh. Okay. That's when FF's fate is decided. Also protection. He can read which direction he needs to go. Not a coincidence. Don't let him touch the dragon. Well, it's true that the old man is able to utilize me to my fullest. FF, this spot is your unluckiest, above your left ear. Right now, this spot is the ultimate red warning sign. Also, your lucky color is yellow, and a picture of goldfish will bring you luck. Not that you have one at hand, but... Thanks, dragon. Thanks a lot. Shut up, old man, I'm not your lackey. Shouldn't everyone know about feng shui? I'll say again, I love the banter between the stand and the user. It's really, the force that he's capturing is something much bigger than him, and it doesn't really follow his goals. And so he's arguing with it and can't really control it. I really like that as an idea. Again, I know that there have been other stands that are separate from their user in that sort of a way, but this one stands out to me as particularly fun. Well, what an insane sequence of events. Kick, grab, flip, chop, and then he goes, so you're going to chop me. Doesn't look like I'll even need to touch the dragon. Fuck! Wow, the foreshortening on that arm from FF is awesome. And the chop up above. Straight in the mouth, and... nice. Oh, if you're going to talk about guarding and defending at the same time, that was also another way to do it. Dragon's the best narrator we've ever had. Can we keep him around, please? It seems I do need to use the dragon. Oh, and then her arm goes into it, unintentionally. I was the cause of it, and you touched it because I cornered you, so basically it's the same as if I attacked it. Okay, sure. Rips the arm off, it goes flying, it punches the guy, the flies go buzzing. My attack has just merged with your direction of death. Hey, you, what the fuck did you just do? What the hell did you do with my arm? It's what the power of decided. And also, if I were you, I would try to keep the damage that you're going to get down to a minimum, because you will get hit. Sick. So here we get the sequence. The flies buzz. They buzz up. They dink the thing. Foo. A bird comes down to snap up a fly, gets hit by the thing, gets chopped up, the fan goes loose, falls off, everybody looks up. Huh? It rattles and falls. The fan is coming down. The fan isn't what you have to worry about. Dink, 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 the boomerang, chop. Insane. And you can't predict it. This is cool. I like that we've sectioned everything off horizontally with the momentum of the boomerang that has chopped FF's head, right? Everything gets sectioned off horizontally. The only vertical slices are in that section in the center with all the faces, but everything else is horizontal movement, horizontal movement, horizontal movement, horizontal movement. Awesome. Oh, awesome. Oh, that's super cool. Again, the folding of cloth like nobody in the entire world does. Look at that shit. And then, of course, Jolene has patterned cloth, which is even crazier. All the anatomy work. Amazing. Stop. Unlucky areas exist. They exist on both our bodies as well. So we know that we can't fuck with this. It isn't the fact that FF's head has got blown off. In fact, it's a relief that she's bleeding. That they are bleeding, but she's out of water. Gosh. Blam, blam, blam. Dangan. What? There won't be a second time. I'll never let my guard down and step out of my safe zone again. Ah, the way to counter his movements. A mirror. What I need is a mirror. If I could just make a mirror, but I need water, and I need it in order to heal myself, too. Cool color swap, and the fact that there's no panel really sets that frame at the top off from the rest. I used to have so many followers, but now everybody laughs at me. I was even treated like a fool by some piece of pedophile trash who kidnapped children. Well, I got nothing to say about that, but you are a fool and an asshole, and everybody laughs at you because you're a fucking multi-murderer asshole. My glory days, my glory days. No doubt people will start to revere me as their savior now. Even if I can't escape this prison, the prisoners will all become my followers. And he might be right. That kind of power can do that. The reason for my surviving the fire, feng shui, came back to me as my standability. Again, it's like, because circumstances have arranged themselves so that I survived, that proves that I am worthy, and it justifies my behavior. All right, man. After I take care of you! Show me, Dragon Stream, show me! Alright, going for the fire extinguisher, and he's running after her. Oh, that's spooky! Oh, that's so spooky! Oh, what an expression on her face, too. Awesome. So expressive. You'll help, right? Once FF dies. Alright. Tangled up in the fire hose. Try not to touch me. This is your unluckiest location. Protect it with all you've got, or else. There's no time for you to be drinking. But FF needs the water. What? Hell yeah, straight into danger. Sacrificing her own arms in order to get into the tube and get down the thing. Fucking awesome. Secret to good health is urine therapy every morning, has knowledge of kung fu, tai chi, and tea ceremonies. Good for you, man. Oh. That's rad. I haven't seen that one. That's rad as fuck. Miami Stone Free JoJo. Cool color scheme, too. JoJo's bizarre adventure across all of her clothing. Fuck, yeah. And an insane pose. A full Fibonacci spiral from head down and in. Oh, and the alligator belt. That's cool, too. Or on the hips. What are you thinking? Yo, clunk, and gone. Down the hose, directly to the faucet. Nice. Gets punched by her own arm. The assassination has begun. Your fate is decided. Yep. Down into the electric chair. Dink, dink, dink. Dink, dink, dink. Twist the thing, spin the thing. Timer on. Oh, wow, 15 seconds. They changed it for the timing of the anime in order to make it a little bit more realistic. That's cool. I'm into it. I mean, it's the sort of thing that doesn't bother me is when 15 seconds in anime time takes 5 minutes, but I know that it bothers some people, so I don't mind it. Here you are at the chair, and the series of coincidences begins. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, fuck. Anyone could guess what's going to happen now. I could not have guessed what was going to happen now, and neither could you, Genzo. I would not guess that you would turn into a spring made of bones, but let's see how it happens. God, I'm really not looking forward to seeing that. Oh, yeah, the bullets hit the thing and they fall and that slips her up. Freaking Baelitz, what are you gonna do? Ah! I guess you sitting there had already been decided from the start. Beep, beep, whoosha! Nope. Pow, pow, pow. Punches directly to the arm. Awful. And the timing is also perfect. The definitive time to kill. Kapow. Beep. Oh, and that's the end of the volume. Awesome. All right, on to the next volume. And we get another volume cover. Here we are. This is my favorite piece of the volume cover art. I've seen most of them, just because I've looked at a page with all of the volume covers on it. It's hard not to see stuff like that. So, it is what it is. This one, I fucking love it. I really fucking love it. From the I think it's her knee drawn up against her chest, and then it's cut across and then held together with the clothespins. It's like falling apart but held back together. The arrangement of the leaves creates this sharpness to everything that's jagged and spiky and sort of flows into Jolene's hair. The coloration of her hair is gorgeous, and the color palette that's chosen for this one is awesome. The star around the eye is sort of Kiss-esque, but it's also just rockery and badass as hell. And then she's almost wearing like a fur vest. It's got spikes off. It's got little hairs off of it. Something about it does something for me. And then a lot of Araki's art is framed off center, right? In classical sort of framing, classical on thirds or classical in Fibonacci. But here we get this dividing line that's directly down the center of the piece. It's directly down the center. And that's rare, I think. And yet, because of the spiky darkness of the leaves and then the offset with the hair, it all still ends up feeling balanced across the corners to me. Balanced, 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 balanced. But Jolene is framed like her eyeline is dead center horizontally or like vertically across the thing. And then we get this line down through the direct center of her one little hair bobble that runs straight down through. And is also the line at which her knee comes up, where her nose is, and where sort of the corner of her further away eye is, like this eye would be. It all lines up to just be spectacular. I think it is my favorite piece that I've seen so far. I might change my mind as we move forward, but this one stands out, man. It really stands out to me. Okay. How to draw a manga without tiring yourself out. In a nutshell, I must say that if such a trick exists, I want to know it. It's necessary that I find a way not to tire myself out so much when I'm drawing from now on. In that respect, let me tell you here the experience I've lived. During a Seitai seance, I had noticed that I've abnormally developed the posterior muscles of my right arm, meaning that by using my pencil on the pages day after day for hours, I've subconsciously trained the muscles of my right arm. Problem is that I've only trained those, which isn't good. I vibe with this. I use my right arm for the mouse, right? So often I'll have my left arm on my hip, or just draped below me or wherever, or even perhaps on a keyboard or whatnot, but it'll be resting. And then my right arm will be active, just held up like this. And there's an imbalance in my shoulders because of it, because of standing in a certain way or sitting in a certain way, and then sort of leaning to a certain side and then having one hand up and not the other. So, don't know what to do about that except to mix it up, but you can't really mix it up when you're right-handed and you use a right-handed mouse. Part of it is the setup of your desk and setting everything up so that you can be relatively straightforward in a line and even, and that's hard to do. And then, of course, when you train, and you should do some form of resistance training, you should do it as evenly as possible. Beyond that, it's hard to deal with. I think it's pretty common for right-handed people to develop more strength, musculature, and also articulation in one hand over the other. So you may have to offset that by doing extra training on the other side, but it will never be quite the same simply because the amount of time that you spend using one versus the other. Araki, for example, could do, tons of tricep extensions on the left arm, and that would generate a certain type of strength there, but it wouldn't generate the same type of articulation and care and quality of musculature and mobility that he would get in the other arm. So that's tough, man. That's real deal problems. Zap! Speaking of real deal problems, FF is dying. Crazy smoke coming out of the eyes and ears and stuff. Man, there was a movie, I think it's called Madhouse. Not the anime studio, but I think it's called Madhouse. It's a horror movie that my dad showed me when I must have been like 11. I was way too young to be watching a movie that horrific. And there are some scenes of death by electric chair in the movie that are really freaky, and they embedded themselves into my mind and definitely gave me nightmares for a while. So this evokes that for me. Fun. Awful. Awesome. The frame is awesome. Lines to the center, insane. I'm just gonna stare at this for a sec. Good God, Araki. I'm going to be a leader again! I've completely mastered it. I'm neutral, so, hey, old man Kenzo, I'm not trying to give you a hint or anything, but FF, she did manage to get some water. Right then, when you kicked her. Must be because you've been running around. I mean, you are 78. FF made you run around and sweat. Well, your sweat became her water. Wow. A mirror. It's a reflection, so where you're standing isn't a safe spot at all. And FF has got him! We see the horror in his eye. I love that bottom left-hand little half circle where he's cut off and just like, it really evokes that shock and terror. Split off from the rest of the frame. Take this. This is fine. If I could just give you a little bit of my bad luck. Give me a safe direct. Foo fighters. It's over. What's next? You're going to search for the bone, am I correct? You should start thinking about that now. FF can no longer heal your wounds at this state. But at least there's no way for Kenzo to attack you using his feng shui assassination anymore. It was truly close to being an invincible stand. And FF falls. FF! Clang, 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 clang. Jolene, you fool! Impossible! Jolene Cujo, what are you doing? The damage that was done to your body is far worse than you think it to be. And people should know that the plankton inside FF's body can't survive after being fried by 2,800 volts of electricity. Duh! The dragon. The dragon's still here. Kenzo is still alive. Oh, he's got caked blood coming out of his eyes. Oh. Don't let your feelings of revenge take over. If you release the string from your body, your injuries will only get worse. The spike drives it forward, but it's actually a trick to just get into the safe spot in order to protect FF, right? Stone free! Oh, creepy goblin. Even more awful and broken now. Oh, and he got the thing, and he's in the safe spot. You'll never hit me. I'll kill you and become a god again. The spot that Kenzo just retreated to. If you were to figure out where the safest spot is, where you can't be attacked. That also must be the spot where the parts of FF that were in the mirror she made were safe as well. Alright. She must have been saved from the 2,800 volts if she were there. Gimme a break. Foo Fighters is still alive. Nice. On the directional compass, there are lucky and unlucky spots. Dragon's Dream is a stand that points out which directions are lucky or unlucky. What Dragon's Dream dictates is 100% accurate. After surviving the incident with the fire, Old Man Kenzo spent 40 years perfecting and eventually activated his stand ability. So it's 0 on everything except permanence. Or, resilience. Okay, rad. Alright, so Narciso begins to move because Jolene is in danger, because she's in a scary spot now. Do you think you've already defeated me? What a great piece of framing. Holy shit. This hasn't changed my plans for killing you, not one bit. Haven't you realized? You're already trapped in my feng shui assassination. My stone freeze string. My attack is inevitable. Your bad luck has just been decided. No matter what I do, your death has already been decided. Yow, clunk. And Narciso gets there just in time. I win! Bow down to me! My plans for becoming a god haven't been altered either! Ah! Wait. Huh? Clunk? Huh? Clunk? Hey. I hit her, right, Dragon's Dream? Feng Shui assassination. It's absolute. My last kick should have finished her off, right? Right? You did deliver the final blow. Then why is Jolene still fine, and why am I stuck up here all of a sudden? Ha! Dragon, tell me where the safe direction... Dragon? Hey, Dragon, why are you going away? Tell me where my safe spot is. Ah! Well, the one who's distancing himself is you. You're the one who just let go on your own. You're the one that's falling. You're a clank. Boing. 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 Tell me the direction of my safe spot. I'm telling you, you're the one who's going away. Oh man, your legs. They look really weird. Your legs are what's odd here. Did something happen to them? Like when you kicked Jolene? That's Diver Down. I really love the symbol on Diver Down's head. It's cool. It's like a key with a fish hook and some other... I don't know. It's cool. It isn't Jolene's string stand. What's that stand that's coming out of Jolene's body? Okay. So that's insane. Have a stand out of your body. It's art. Insane. Fuck yeah, Narciso. Ah! Diver Down. All I had to do was protect her right when he delivered the kick. If the attack towards Jolene had already been decided, all I had to do was protect her right when he delivered his kick. Ah, what the hell is this? Ah, cracking noises. Ah, that's too many bones. That's not how bones work, man. Yeah. Boing. Ah. Boing, boing. No. Oh, God. Honestly, he put his stand inside of my body and instantly crushed Kenzo's legs when he came to finish me off. No, not just that, he took apart all the bones and muscles, and then he put them back together, creating something almost like springs. A suspension system made out of bone and flesh. Right now, Kenzo feels no pain. Same goes for me, too, because of that other stand that made the prisoners and guards fight. Wah! 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 Fuck. My safe spot, dragon! I can't reach! No, don't go there! Ugh. That's it. That's how I like it. I want you to look at me more. Those eyes. Just keep looking at me. I don't like it, Narciso. Honestly, I really don't like it. And into the bucket he goes. Your safe spot is in the northeast, and your lucky color is cerulean blue. Well, doesn't look like it'll help anyway. You know, you've aged a lot during those few minutes of fighting. Dragon's Dream, out of commission. To be continued. And sleep state. And although he has long periods where he's awake, he also sleeps for 24 hours at a time. He wakes up, positioned as monks do. It's to be expected because he has absolutely no memories. Speaking, reading, eating with a knife and fork, he's lost all of these things. Father, Jotaro Kujo. Daughter, Jolene Kujo. Texas, on the outskirts of Dallas, inside the Speedwagon Foundation facility. JoJo sits and waits for his daughter to finish the job. And friends, that's the end for today. Nice. Hey, this was a cool section. A really interesting fight with a weird-ass stand and a crazy user with an insane ending and a whole lot of absolute insanity all the way through. Truly a bizarre adventure. Yeah! Alright, that's it. I don't really have anything else to say here. Support the channel on Patreon. I'm glad I don't have cancer. It's pretty nice to find that out. Onward into more JoJo's and other things. I love doing this shit. I really love it. And I really miss it. And I'm glad to be back. Thanks for watching. I'll see ya probably next week. Although my schedule is going to be futzy for a little while, and that's okay. I'm not going to try to force myself to adhere to something prescriptive. I'm just going to sort of let myself do what I want to do for a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks so much for the support and for hanging out and reading and watching JoJo's with me. I think it's been a blast, and I hope you've had fun too. See you next time. Peace.